while countries are rushing to evacuate their citizens from Sudan as the fighting between the army and the paramilitary RSF continues unabated for the first 10 days. A fragile ceasefire held for 3 days where most, including India, put all their resources at hand to quickly extricate their people. So far, around 2,000 people have been brought to safety and relief was writ large on their faces as the evacuees reached India. But India has always ensured it stands by its people in such times of crisis, going all the way back to 1990 when it carried out one of the trickiest and most exemplary evacuation from Kuwait during the Gulf War.
After 10 days of witnessing the horrors of armed fighting on the streets of Sudan, to a sense of hope, boarding either an Indian ship or aircraft for evacuation, to finally a sense of relief as they touched down in India.
There was no electricity, water for 4 or 5 days, and now we feel more safer. Even when we entered, they asked us what you want to eat. In last 10 days, no one was there to take care of us.
बहुत डेंजर सिचुएशन, कहने के जाओ तो हम मौत के मुंह से हम रिटर्न आए।
मतलब हम लोगों का सब कुछ ले लिया, लूट लिया। हम लोग पैदल आए, बच्चों को एकदम पैदल दौड़ा के लेके आए। बच्चे लोग सभी डरे हुए थे।
रोड तो बंद था, खाना के लिए तो नहीं मिल रहा था।
हमारे विदेश मंत्री ने हमको इतना यहाँ तक के लाए और हम अच्छे से आ गए हैं, इसके लिए थैंक यू बोलना चाहते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी के कावेरी मिशन के नेतृत्व में हमें काफी सपोर्ट मिला और हम यहाँ तक सेफली पहुँच पाए हैं।
Around 2,000 Indians stranded in Sudan have been moved to safer zones and over 1,000 back home in India. A 3-day ceasefire facilitating swifter movement via land, which was the biggest challenge initially as active fighting continued. 3,400 Indians had registered with the embassy in Khartoum. On Tuesday, warship INS SUMEDHA ferried the first batch of 278 Indians from Port Sudan to Jeddah. 256 more were transported by the C-130J aircraft. Another warship, INS Tech, ferried 297 Indians from Port Sudan to Jeddah. And the C-130J aircraft airlifted 264 more in 2 sorties. A Saudia flight brought back 360 Indians on Wednesday night. Another 246 were flown to Maharashtra in a C-17 Globemaster heavy lift aircraft of the Indian Air Force. Jeddah in Saudi Arabia has been used as a transit, and amidst the process of evacuation, the relationship India has nurtured with the Gulf region over the past several years was visible in the time of crisis.
Look, we have been working very closely with the government of Saudi Arabia, the leadership of Saudi Arabia, and they have been extremely helpful, supportive and cooperative in this endeavor, and we are extremely grateful to them for that.
Operation Kaveri is bringing back Indian citizens from strife-torn Sudan, but India has always ensured that it puts in its best effort to evacuate its citizens safely from wherever in the world they may be. One of the most massive efforts goes back 3 decades when India airlifted its nationals from Kuwait at the height of the Gulf War. 170,000 Indians were brought back in a joint effort by Indian Air Force and Air India. Operation Amnesty Airlift. The mission was carried out in September 1996 to bring back the Indian nationals who did not have valid permits from the United Arab Emirates. Operation Rahat. Hundreds of Indians and other nationals were rescued under this operation during the unrest at Yemen's capital Sana'a after the complete takeover by Houthi rebel fighters in January 2015. Following political turmoil in Egypt in March 2011, the Indian government operated special flights to evacuate over 10,000 citizens stranded in Cairo. Operation MAITRI. The government of India carried out this mission to safely bring the nationals from Nepal after the deadly earthquake in 2015. WUHAN Airlift. In one of the most difficult evacuation flights, India airlifted its citizens safe from China's coronavirus-hit city, Wuhan, in January 2020. Vande Bharat mission. Special flights were operated across the globe in this mission to bring back the nationals who were left stranded in foreign countries due to coronavirus pandemic. Operation DEVI SHAKTI, an evacuation operation by the Indian Armed Forces, was kicked off in August 2021 to safely bring back Indian nationals from Afghanistan after the collapse of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and the fall of Kabul, the capital city of the Taliban. And the most recent in 2021 to facilitate the movement of Indians, mostly students, from war-torn Ukraine. India coordinated successfully with neighboring countries Poland, Romania, Hungary and Slovakia to get transit and flights going for students fleeing Ukraine. And that's not all. On many of these occasions, India has also helped citizens of other countries too.